right? That's where you want to, that's the goal, is the center target. And this center target right here is going to be your SOI, your sphere of influence, and people that already know you and love you. Maybe it's past clients for some of you. I'm going to put people that know you. So that's that center target right there. The second arc right here is people that you've met. We call them your met leads. So you've met them, maybe you met them at an open house, maybe you met them at a community event, you met them somewhere. Maybe they haven't said, I'm ready here right now today to buy or sell real estate, but you've met them. And then this outer section is your unmet leads. So these will be people that maybe on some level said, I am interested in buying or selling. They inquired on an online lead. Maybe they came through on your website. Maybe they called on your sign that's at the front of a house, but you haven't met them. You have not been able to build the rapport and meet them yet. So these are kind of the three focuses. So the primary focus, the way that the MREA book says to target, is you want to focus on people in the center of the bullseye. The reason is that it is a higher conversion and a lower cost, and it is less time to convert these leads. Even though it's a smaller pool of people, it's going to suck up less of your time, which is important. And I always like to actually dive in specifically to just how much more fruitful that is going to be. So people that you know, people that are past clients, people that are your sphere, if you were at our last class, you remember some of these stats. You are 10 to 20% more likely to convert those leads. The biggest thing that was kind of a groundbreaking stat from last week's stat was your past clients and referrals have more of a 25 to 70% acceptance rate, referral rate, conversion rate. That's what I'm thinking. So that means for every 4 people you talk to, 2 to 3 are actually going to convert. Wow. That's huge. Yeah. Do you guys know what the conversion rate is for an unmet person? Maybe like an online lead, somebody you don't know. Does anyone want to guess what that can be? 1%. You're exactly right. 1, maybe 3% is a good conversion, which means out of 100 people that you talk to, you're converting 1, which is crazy. So you got to talk to 100 to 1. I think we'd all agree we'd prefer to spend our time where it's more fruitful, right? Yeah. That makes a lot of sense to me. So there's also more time involved with unmet leads. The reason being is because you have to take the time to build the rapport and build the relationship with somebody that you don't know versus somebody that you do know, right? So I always like to, this is a fun one for me because I always like to get everybody to guess how many conversations they think it takes to actually convert a lead. So let's start with our met people. People we already know. How many conversations on average do you think it takes to actually convert them to an appointment to get them to a signed contract?
3?
Yes, that's a great guess. Good job. It's anywhere from 3 to 7. 7 would be like maybe you really met them or started speaking to them when it's quite cold in the process. But that happens occasionally. But you could, and I will be honest, there will be people you will have one conversation and you will convert and have that appointment set because they already know you and love you. You don't have to gain and earn their trust. How many conversations do you think on average it takes for somebody that you don't know?
10 to 20?
It's 18.
Yeah.
You're right on with your numbers today. 18 conversations to convert to an appointment with somebody that you don't know. So when I hear people saying, well, I'm cold calling, it's not getting anywhere. Well, have you talked to them 18 times yet? Because if you haven't, you're probably not at a point where they're ready to convert with you yet. Yes.
And that's 18 conversations to the same person.
Yeah,
not 18 phone
right.
calls
Thank you.
to 18 different people.
Thank you for that distinction.
Because I was
You're
like,
exactly right, Coach. Exactly right. The other big thing is time it takes to actually convert to the close. The average conversion time for a met person and somebody that we know is 0 to 90 days. So that means within 3 months, more than likely, you're probably going to be able to sit down, meet with them in person, and move forward to transacting. With a person we don't know, it's 6 to 24 months. So again, re-emphasizing, I'd rather spend 0 to 90 days converting people that already know me and love me than spending 0 to 24 months, or I'm sorry, 6 to 24 months, up to 2 years trying to convert somebody that I don't know. That's 24 months that I'm working with someone not getting paid. I'd rather work with somebody for 90 days not getting paid, not 24 months, right? So the biggest thing that I want to hone in, it's going to take you about 5 to 10 more of these leads to every one sphere. So when we are bringing you in and you're starting fresh at Keller Williams, the first people that we are going to say that you're going to target are going to be the people that you know and love already. So how many people have a sphere?
We all do.
Yes, thank you. It's a trick question. You all have a sphere. How many of you have a phone? How about that? Pull your phone out. Everyone pull your phone out. This is my favorite exercise. I want you to open up your contacts. I don't know how to do this if you don't have an iPhone. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
We literally went through that this morning
Oh, you did? We did this exercise?
at our class.
Perfect, we're doing it again.
Yep.
So I want you to open up your contacts. And if you have an iPhone, you can hit the little arrow at the top left and it will bring you to all contacts. Or you scroll to the very bottom and it shows you how many contacts that you have. Somebody yell out theirs.
307.
307. Anyone else?
1,500.
1,500.
Where did you say to go to see it?
100.
Contacts.
100 people in your phone? All right.
It's a new phone. It's a new phone.
New phone, who dis? New phone, who dis? Sal, how many do you have?
486.
46
486.
486. I was like, you are a barber. You have more than that.
358.
358. Okay, these are great numbers.
438.
438. Jesse, how many people are in your phone?
20,000.
He's got a lot of people that need tech issues.
My goodness.
554.
554. So we're gonna guess that about 20% of your numbers are junk-ish. So that's gonna be meaning by like it's Domino's Pizza, it's it's your neighborhood like emergency hotline, like funky numbers that are probably not in there. Other realtors maybe. So you want to cut out about 10 to 20%. So I don't know what kind of math that is on all these, but it's going to be slightly different. I would say if you're at 307, put it at about 200, maybe 250-ish.
You said 10%?
20.
10 to, I said 20, but 10 to 20.
Well, that would be 2. This is a question, Lucia.
Yes.
What is the difference between MET versus SOI?
Okay, so your SOI, your sphere of influence, is going to be people that already know you and love you. These are going to be the people that would already sing your praises as an agent or as a person. Your MET, maybe you've met them, but they haven't said that they're ready to transact or do anything yet, but you met them at an open house, you met them at an event, you met them somewhere, and you've got them in your database and you're nurturing on them. Does that make sense? Okay, great. So the idea is that you all have a pretty solid database of people to start with to reach out, and this entire room can essentially reach out and say, hey, it's Yolanda. I just got my real estate license and I'm launching a new career. And I joined Keller Williams Corona, the #1 brokerage in Riverside County. I wanted to see if you had any real estate needs yourself, or maybe you know of somebody that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. Pro tip, when we went and listened, I think this was last year at Family Reunion, there was a speaker there. Who was it? It was the British guy. I'm looking at you, Jesse, because I know you know who this is. The British guy. He has the book. Win with Words, I think is his book. It'll come to you. But he says to start your sentence with, I don't know if this is for you,
Jones.
but Phil Jones, thank you. I don't know if this is for you, but because you're now going in and they're going to be like, of course this is for me. What do you mean this isn't for me? I don't know if this is for you, but I am working with people looking to buy, sell, and invest in real estate. And I wanted to see if that was a goal of yours this year, next year, in the next 5 years. I don't know if this is for you, but I'm meeting with people to discuss what's happening in the market and what their home value is right now. I don't know if this is for you, but blah, 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 blah. Because they're going to be like, what do you mean? Of course this is for me. Why would you think it's not for me? And they're going to want to be included.
Nobody wants to feel excluded.
Nobody wants to feel excluded. So all of you have a great first conversation, first stepping point to build out who your true sphere is. Because not all 200 people are probably going to be listed in your database as your sphere. But you want to figure out who that is pretty quickly. So if you guys are all sitting here being like, I don't know who to call, I don't have a lead. Yes, you do. You've got 486 people that you can reach out to in your phone. Even if you're nervous and you feel like I haven't talked to them in 5 years, it's going to be so random for them to hear from me. They're going to be so polite. They're going to be so happy to hear from you. Yeah. They're just going to be grateful that you're the one that reached out. So that would be something we just got a fear we have to overcome. So first and foremost, your priority is going to be the center of the bullseye. The second priority you're going to want to make are people that you've met at maybe an open house or an event or door knocking or something like that. You're not going to want to prioritize the unmet ahead of them. So this is somebody that you've had some sort of real in-person interaction with. They know who you are and they would on some level recognize your name if they saw it. What are some examples of places where you might be able to meet some Met people?
Starbucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Yeah. Starbucks.
Dry cleaners.
What are we doing at Starbucks? Are we
Getting-
prospecting at Starbucks?
Getting our favorite drink.
Okay, so that person would probably more be in your sphere. Where am I going to meet some Met people where I can prospect for leads for real estate?
Open houses.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for more.
Good.
Oh, this is not erasing
I could
very
be a
nicely. Don't like that.
You should.
Open houses. Where else can we do some prospecting?
Door knocking.
Door knocking. Yep, I yelled out a few. Door knocking. What else?
Cold calling.
Cold calling is going to probably be more in the unmet category, so we're going to put that over here. But yes,
Your friends and everything that you have on Facebook, Instagram.
social media. Again, that's probably going to be a little bit over here.
Wouldn't it be under work, though, because
Unless some of those
you
people
know?
are part of your sphere. Yeah. You're going to kind of have some overlap in there, but I would say probably the general mass of who's out there on social media is a world of people we don't even know. And maybe we've only seen their face on social media. Where else are we going to be able to get face-to-face with some people?
Like fundraisers?
Yeah, some events. Sure, events, fundraisers,
Yeah, networking.
networking. Anything else?
Business to business.
Biz to biz. Okay.
Your people that your sphere of influence introduce you to.
That would probably be a referral, more so in the center bullseye. That's like a high quality, that's what we want, you know, is that high quality lead.
What was the last one?
Business to business
That's called a BH2.
versus our unmet are gonna be social media. I'm gonna call it leads specifically, because some of us run ads on social media and you're gonna get leads from social media ads. Cold calling is another one, maybe online leads from your website. If you're ever gonna be paying for leads, I'll do paid leads, which we'll have a conversation about that too. Anywhere else that there's some unmet leads that you can get. Where else can you just find real estate leads at all?
The cleaners, your cleaner.
Yeah, that's gonna be your-
dog groomer.
Yep.
People that you come in contact all the time.
Perfect. Yes. That's going to be your sphere too. The people that are in your life somewhere. Perfect. So we've got a pretty good list of places where you would go to find leads. So the key is you want to actually prioritize places that are going to get you more conversion, which is going to be this, which is your met leads, versus this, which is your unmet. Because remember, the conversion of unmet to met is a huge difference. It's going to take us, 5 times as many conversations, cold calling, than somebody that I met at an open house. So the key is when you're building your business and you're thinking of your business like a stool, and we're trying to figure out what are going to be the 3 pillars of my business that hold up my stool, you have to think to yourself, if you've got cold calling, social media, and online leads as your 3 pillars of your business, you're probably not going to be converting business for about 2 years. And I know that none of us got time to not get a paycheck for 2 years. So when you're thinking about the 3 things that you're going to build your business on, first and foremost is sphere. Everybody has to have sphere in there. Or people you know at the groomers, whatever. People you know. Your other 2 should be ones that are probably the most fruitful on this list. I am a big proponent of open houses. When I got into real estate, I was 22 years old, and I did not know anyone at 22 in my sphere that was looking to buy or sell houses at that age. And I had just relocated from Orange County out to Corona, and I didn't really know anyone out here. So I thought, well, what is going to be the one place that I'm going to get in front of as many people as possible on some level want to buy or sell real estate? And that was open houses.
So you volunteered for other people's
Yes.
open houses.
I would work an open house every weekend, twice a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, without fail. So for me, my other leg here was open houses. That was one of
How
them.
many leads did you wind up getting doing open houses like that every week?
It would vary. There would be some weeks where I might get nobody showing up. There would be other weeks where you'd get 20 people showing
But
up.
I mean, in general, like for say your first year, how many do you think you converted into?
My first year, the
Buyers and
majority of my
sellers.
business was open houses. I would say probably much more than 50%. And I think my first year I sold like 9 or 10 houses. It wasn't like an incredibly crazy amount of houses,
That's pretty
but it
good.
was still enough that kind of got me going for sure. Yes.
So we send out an email to the other agents in Keller Williams, letting them know we're available to do their open house.
You can. My recommendation would be reach out to the lenders at DHL.
Okay.
Because they are constantly keeping a list of agents that have listings that need open house coverage. And they are always matching people, so then they're doing the work for you. I will also get some text messages from agents saying, hey, last minute, I need somebody to cover. Do you know of anyone? So if I know that you are someone that wants to work open houses,
I want to work open house.
perfect. I will know that Debbie is somebody to recommend. Now, I would recommend before you kind of jump off to the races, it's good to shadow somebody your first couple times.
Yeah.
And see how they put on an open house.
Right.
We will do an open house training in 30, 60, 90. We've had it where we'll have the table. I will bring my open house setup. A couple other agents will bring theirs. So you can kind of see the things that we bring with us, what our flyers look like, what our conversations sound like, how we get people to sign in, because you want to kind of learn that stuff and get some practice going in that when you're working open houses before you go off by yourself. The other thing too is our lenders will, if they're available, there's only 3 of them, but they will work the open house with you. Especially if you know you're gonna get a lot of activity, it's good to have at least a second body. And if you're a female, it's good for safety. It's good to have a second body there because they can help crowd control, and then they are all experienced, so they can kind of, if there's a question that you get hit with that maybe you don't know the answer to, they might be able to kind of help guide through some of those answers. So open houses to me, I think is the best way. If you don't have leads, if you don't know who to talk to, it's a great way to get out there. Now, I like to be real. I don't like to sugarcoat it. If you are going to do 3 open houses and say, oh, open houses don't work, it's not gonna work for you. Open houses, just like anything else in this business, is the long game. You're gonna go weeks and weeks, maybe even months, where you might still be working and nurturing those leads that you get. Especially in Corona right now with the no open house sign thing, we do have fewer people attending open
We're
houses.
still seeing them at Sycamore Creek.
Well, go to Riverside, go to Eastvale. You can put up 100 signs out there if you want. You just can't put any signs up in Corona at
Well,
all.
that's
It is
Corona.
they yes.
Maybe they call it Temescal Valley, but that's Corona. And
Temescal
they're
Valley,
still-
you can
Okay.
put signs up
Yeah,
because it's technically county, but
Oh,
anything that is
okay.
city ordinance, you cannot.
that's terrible.
And actually, one of our agents got fined $300. They sent the fine to us too. So they are starting to crack down
So
on
it's
if you've got open
because it's
house
Temescal
signs.
Valley that we're seeing them.
Yes, and actually I want to, so the agent that got the fine, her husband put the signs up thinking he was being helpful, and she was like, great, you just cost us $300 trying to be helpful. It was in Eagle Glen.
Wow.
Yes, that was like 2 weeks
What
ago.
about Riverside?
Riverside does not have any rules about signs up.
You're good.
Now, every city has rules. The nice thing is Tigar, if you go onto their website, all the surrounding cities around here, they have the sign ordinance rules on their website. So you can just click the link of the city that you're working the open house in. Now, Orange County is much stricter in certain areas. So if you're working an open house out somewhere else, just make sure you look and check what the rules are, because you don't want to get, especially if you're using someone else's signs, you don't want to get signs taken away, fined, removed, etc. We do have open house signs that we will lend out to you guys. You can check them out. They get checked out pretty early. So if you're coming in Friday afternoon thinking you're gonna pull some signs, they're probably already taken.
How
But
many
you
do we
just go
have?
check with Kirsten. I want to say we have like 12 or 15.
Okay.
So we have to, we split them up as we can. But Kirsten at the front is who you would reserve open house signs with. Now, eventually you want to get your own signs, because it's a great advertising of you and you want to promote yourself. But they are just branded KW Corona, and they have the office phone number on there. So those are check outable by Kirsten. Yes.
When we're doing an open house for someone else, we have to use their signs though, right?
No.
Not necessarily.
We could put-
You
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to use their signs. Like I would be told, if someone's working one of my open houses, you can absolutely use my signs. As long as you give them back, because I had an issue with someone not giving my signs back. But yes, you can absolutely use the other agents, or you can use the office, or you can use your own too. If you have your own and you're working mine, I don't mind if you use yours. That's not a problem. You have to keep my for sale sign at the front. You can't
Correct.
change that out. But yeah, you can use your own open house signs. Yes.
And anybody that comes in that's not working with an agent,
Yes.
you can,
That's your lead?
That's your lead. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, when we do our open house class, we'll go into a lot more detail about preparation before the open house and what the follow-up looks like after. But truly, in that or in anything, the fortune is in the follow-up in this business. So you're going to meet some great opportunities. If you don't consistently follow up, you're going to lose so many opportunities. So if you're going to work open houses, you have to have a plan in place for what the follow-up's going to look like for the next few days, few weeks, few months after. Because some of these leads still take
Can we get
time.
trained on that too?
Yes, we will do a full training on open houses and the follow-up for sure. But today, for the purpose of today, the point is we want you guys to figure out what are going to be the 3 primary areas that you are getting leads. So the third one might be social media. The third one might be events. The third one might be paying for leads. Now, here's what I will say about paying for leads, because this comes up a lot. I get a lot of people that come in and ask me questions. Do you think I should pay for leads on Zillow? Do you think I should pay for leads on homes.com? I don't think you should pay for leads if you are not servicing your Met and your Sphere. Until you are fully servicing this like a well-oiled machine, there is no reason you should be throwing money down the drain to pay for leads. I, to this day, do not pay for leads. And I've not been ever a believer, maybe I'll run an ad here and there, but I am not a proponent of you paying for leads and throwing your money away. Any questions on anything like that?
I just had a question about the open house thing. What if
Yes.
somebody says, hey, I wanna make an offer on this? I mean, either they have an agent there or they don't have an agent. If they don't have an agent, would you like me to help you? Then you would actually present that.
You'd be writing the
Yes.
offer for them.
Write the
Now, if I
offer.
had a super busy open house and there's people everywhere, I'm not gonna be like, all right, everybody out, I gotta write an offer. But what I would do is I would say my office is right down the road, or there's a Starbucks right down the road. I'm done here at 4:00. Why don't you and I plan on meeting there at 4:30, and we can go through and put this offer together at that time.
Okay.
Does that sound good to you?
Okay.
Now, if it's dead and I've got nobody, maybe I would just bust open my laptop and be like, all right, so let's start going through this offer. Let's put it together. It just kind of depends. More than likely, you're going to meet with them after, because you just never know when someone's going to walk in the door too.
All right.
Yes.
Well, not only that, when you're writing the offer, questions could come up that
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't have time to do while you're doing the open house.
Yeah, and you want to be able to give them your full attention, which
Yes.
is it is better ideally to meet with them after, because you can make sure that they feel comfortable with the terms and any questions that they have and all of that for sure. So let's talk about any questions on met leads. Let's talk a little bit about unmet leads. So the biggest thing with an unmet lead is you've got such a small amount of time to start building that trust and rapport, especially because a lot of times you're over the phone. Because again, with an unmet lead, we haven't met them in person. We don't know them. So our sole goal with an unmet lead is not necessarily to convert them to being a client right then and there. You want to convert them to being a met lead. You want to convert them to meeting them in person, getting that appointment, setting up time for a Zoom call, just something that initiates that first step to bringing them closer down the bullseye. So with an unmet lead, they're going to start off a lot more non-committal. They're going to be a lot more trepidatious. They don't know us from Adam. They don't know who we are. They don't know if we're just another spam call trying to sell them something. They don't know that we are really just trying to help and be a resource for any of their real estate needs that they might have. So I actually wrote down some key Phil Jones phrases that we can use to help build that rapport up front when we're having that initial conversation. Of course, we already heard, I'm not sure if it's for you, but another key one would be, would you be open to meeting to discuss your real estate needs? Something along those lines. Just imagine. That's a good one because it gets them thinking and putting them in the mindset of visualizing maybe owning their first home, or visualizing maybe they own a home and they're trying to upgrade to their dream home. So just imagine, if I could, if I could net you $100,000, would you move up to that bigger home? That would be an example. And lastly, when would be a good time to ... When would be a good time to meet for a Zoom to discuss further? So these are just all key phrases that help kind of move the needle to get them from being non-committal to more committal. So an example of a script would be, hey, so-and-so, you popped up on my radar recently when I saw that you were interested in homes in Corona. I just wanted to reach out and see, are you still exploring options or have your plans shifted? The key to that is you're not asking a yes or no question. If you're asking a yes or no question, the answer is no. They're just trying to get you off the phone. So you want to ask a question that gets them speaking, that gets them talking. Open-ended, yes. We want to get them talking because the more that they talk, the more that they feel and recognize that we care about them. So if you're on a phone call or if you're in person and you find that you are the one doing all the talking, something's wrong. There's my favorite saying. Does anyone know what my favorite saying is?
Shut up and listen.
Close. It's WAIT, which stands for why am I talking? If you ever find yourself talking, you need to stop and wait and think, why am I talking? I should not be the one talking right now. The client should be the one talking.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I did also print out a lead follow-up system, which is not here, but it is, I can make sure we get it sent in the script. Does everyone have access to the scripts folder on the KW Corona support? Is that on KW Corona support, Jesse? The scripts folder? Okay. So I'll make sure this gets uploaded into the scripts folder. But one of my favorite lead follow-up systems, especially for an unmet group, is, who knows the name? Jesse knows the name.
What was the question?
Who knows my favorite follow-up action plan for an unmet lead? What's it called?
I think you shared one. I know you were not expecting my call.
Ah, that's a good one. But the name of this yes, who said that?
We need Kelly right here.
Yes, Kelly knows. Kelly's like, trust me, I've experienced lots of pain. My favorite follow-up plan is 10 days of pain. So I have a 10 days of pain follow-up plan. It's in the scripts folder in KW Corona support. But the idea is when you get a new lead or you had somebody that maybe expressed interest on social media or somewhere, even an open house, this could work. Maybe you had somebody flutter in and out of an open house and you didn't really get a chance to talk to them because it was so busy, but they signed in, but you really don't know them. 10 Days of Pain is my favorite follow-up action plan. And it's called 10 Days of Pain, not because it's painful for them, but it's gonna be painful for you. Because you are going to reach out to them 10 days in a row.
Ooh.
Yeah, multiple times a day.
Ooh.
So you're gonna send a text, you're gonna call, and you're gonna email for
And then,
10 days
wait.
in a row.
And then, 10 days in a row.
10 days in a row.
You gotta reply in the first day.
If you got a reply in the first day, good job. You don't have to have a 10 days of pain anymore. That's the goal, is ideally in that 10 days, more than likely they're probably gonna respond.
Yeah.
And probably, they're either gonna be like, stop freaking bothering me, or they're gonna say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I meant to get back to you yesterday, but yes, we are still interested. And then you're gonna be able to now categorize them in your database appropriately. They're a hot lead, they need some work, maybe they need to increase some credit, or they're not interested at all. That's the entire goal of 10 Days of Pain, is I need to classify what the need of this unmet lead is within 10 days. And if you don't hear from someone within 10 days, which means you've probably reached out to them 30 times, no, 10 days, a lot of times.
Yeah.
Is that right? 30 times.
At least 30.
30 times in 10 days, that you probably can move them to more of a nurture plan. Because you've reached out to them 3 times a day, 10 days in
Oh
a
my
row.
gosh, 3 times a day.
Yes,
At least.
for 10 days in a row. You're gonna text, you're gonna email, and you're gonna call every single day until they respond. Yes.
What is the transcripts under? Because I can't find it.
On KW Corona support.
I don't know if I have that under. I have command and.
It's
Agent Hub.
KW Corona
Oh, on the Agent Hub, right?
It's also on the Agent Hub. If you go to training, you're going to see scripts, and it'll say like open script drive. Yeah, so go on the hub, go to training, and then you're going to see scripts. And
10
click on that
days
script
of
there.
pain, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
So
you.
10 Days of Pain, for those of you who know, came from Ben Kinney. Ben Kinney is one of the top agents in this company, bar none. He owns multiple market centers. He now owns a large company called Place, who partner with F&C now, and they partner with other top agents to continue supporting their business. He partners with Chris, what is his last name? Chris something, who is literally the god of open houses. So he is one of the best in the biz, and so if Ben Kinney is telling me to call somebody 10 days in a row, I'm gonna freaking call 10 days in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. His teams alone have done over 1,000 transactions a year. Yes. So
Where is he? Is he?
he's based out of Washington State, but he has teams all across the country now. Mm-hmm.
Dang,
Yes.
that's.
Yes. So I would recommend, even if you, again, maybe you hosted an open house, you didn't quite connect with somebody because you were so busy, put them on a 10 days of pain until they respond. Once they respond, you can take them off the 10 days of pain, and you can then allocate onto some other smart plan that's in command. All right, any questions on that?
In the chat, there's a question.
Yes.
It says, how can we find those top teams you just talked about?
Oh, in terms of like wanting to learn things from them? Is that the question?
Maybe.
Who's asking the question?
Kelly?
Or joining.
Well, they're not here in this market center. If you want to move to Washington, I'm sure they would be open to it. They're Keller Williams agents. So there are other agents in other market centers across the country. He just happens to be one of the top agents in Keller Williams.
So,
But, yes.
I'm sorry, FNC is Keller Williams?
Yes, FNC is our team right here. Yes, anyone in this office is Keller Williams. Yes, FNC is Keller Williams. FNC recently partnered with Place, which is Ben Kinney's company. And it's not his team, but it's his company that helps provide support to top teams across the country. So like operational support, marketing support, financial support in terms of like monitoring your books and stuff like that. Yes. Okay. Any more questions? Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to spend some time doing is going over some common objections that we maybe have internally, or just some objections that you feel like you're hearing from buyers and sellers. So let's start with buyers first. And then we'll do some common seller objections. So what are some things that we're hearing from buyers?
Interest rates.
Interest
payment.
rates are too high.
Yep, interest rates is a big one. Payment is too high. What else?
My
Your
credit's
credit
bad.
score.
My credit's bad.
Credit, bad credit. I didn't hear what the Zoomy said.
Oh, this is Shweta. So I talked about the credit score wrong. So.
Oh, credit. Okay, perfect.
No down
I'm still
payment
on a
money?
lease, I can't get out of it.
Income.
Lease, I'm gonna say timing. Income.
Uncertainty of the war.
What was that?
Uncertainty because of the war and just the economic climate.
Uncertainty.
The
I'm just
house
gonna
price
say
is
world uncertainty because that comes up with other things too. That happens a lot in like election years. People will be like, I don't know what's happening until we have the next president. It's like, nothing's happening right now. It's all the same. Income, not high enough. Okay. Okay, what about some seller ones?
I have a low interest rate.
That's a big one. I
And
don't want to get
I don't
rid of
wanna
my
lose it.
2% interest rate.
Yep.
Okay, what else? What are some reasons someone would not sell their house right now?
I'm not ready to upsize or downsize.
Not ready. Usually there's like they provide like a reason for that. Maybe there's a life situation.
I like where I live.
I like where I live. They probably wouldn't be calling you then. What else? What are we seeing? Probably not getting the price that they want.
Unrealistic expectations?
Unrealistic on price, yeah.
No plan after selling?
No plan after, nowhere to go, we'll say.
And that's where you step in and say,
Nowhere to go.
I got help for it.
Yep. Okay. So there's kind of two types of objections that we get, I would say. One is a condition, which is something that we can't change. Like if someone has a low FICO score, that takes them completely out of the qualifications of an FHA, a VA, or a conventional. We can't necessarily change that right now. Same with income. There are conditions that some people have that truly we cannot overcome or change right now here today. Can we put them on a plan to maybe changing that in the future?
Yes.
Sure. But right now here today, with your 500 FICO score, you're right. We probably are not going to qualify for a loan.
What should the FICO score be?
It really depends on a lot of things. There's not like one solid answer. I used to back in the day hear like you can't even look and entertain at something if you're under 620 or 650. That's not necessarily true though today. Really with conventional, 700 plus the better. With FHA, they're a lot more credit score
More leniency.
lenient, yes. With VA, technically there is no credit score limitation. However, the company that's giving the VA, so like Direct Home Lending or some other company, may have their own minimum set though.
So
But technically VA does not have one.
FHA would be,
590.
Maybe, it depends on the program.
Well, if,
Probably 620, I would say at a minimum.
You can go as low as a 580 on FHA, but you'll require 10% down.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're an FHA
It's
buyer,
there's so many
It
different,
depends on the lender also.
Correct.
Lender law.
there's so many different factors that
I
would
just
feed
wanted
into
an
it.
idea. Thanks.
Yeah. So things like that are conditions, timing. If they're locked in a lease and cannot get out and don't have the ability to buy themselves out, that might be a condition that we can't necessarily overcome. But certain things are an objection. A true objection, that's a condition.
Would you say interest rates are also?
Usually.
This is
why
an
I'm-
objection. And a lot of times what an objection is an unanswered question.
Yep.
We have not asked the right question or gotten enough information where we can actually bring them from point A to point B on this objection.
And sometimes they can buy out of their lease.
Yeah, sometimes they can, absolutely. And sometimes they can go on credit repair or do a rapid rescore, which might bring their score up really quickly. But there are certain things, like no matter how we slice it and dice it, they're not gonna be getting in the house right now.
Yeah.
There's just some things that they need to do to prepare right now. So the things that we can change are gonna be their outlook and their perception of certain things.
Because I have a question here, Raquel, regarding the interest rates, suppose
Yes.
they have good credit, everything is good, they're ready to buy a home, and they're just waiting for the interest rate to go down.
Thank you.
We've been waiting for the last 2 years for interest rates to go
I know,
down.
I mean, like, I talked to a lot of people, and they're still like, oh, we're just still waiting for the interest rate to go down, so how would you tackle if
That's an
somebody
easy one.
tells you this, like, how
can
would you answer them?
refinance within 6 months.
So-
What would you do?
My
So should
question
I-
would be, first you want to find out where are you wanting to see the interest rates? How much more down are you wanting to see the interest rates? Because historically, 6 is actually not too bad. I mean, 2 years ago we were in the 8s.
yep,
So they went down. We're here, they're down.
and they still haven't purchased.
Now, realistically, and I wouldn't necessarily just jump into this, but I would first want to ask the question of where is it that you're wanting the rates to be? And then I would jump into more so, do you care more about the rate or is the payment what's more important to you? Because people like to talk a lot about rates, but where we live every day is how much is your payment? Can you afford that monthly mortgage payment or are you going to be house
Of course,
poor?
if they're talking about payment, of course, it comes with the interest rate also. Lower the interest rate, they would, able to pay more for the principal, lower interest rate.
Right. So here's the thing with lower interest rates this is a direct supply and demand correlation. The lower the interest rate, the higher the prices tend to go.
Yep.
The higher the prices tend to be is when we start to see the interest rates trickle down and vice versa. So Sure, we might, and this is a big might, we might get back to 5s, maybe 4s. I'll be honest, between the room here, I don't think we're gonna see 4s
Anytime
until
soon.
there's another like a massive financial crisis. Hang on. So when we see rates going down like that, we have to understand that we're going to see prices go up just like we did during COVID.
Yes.
And the correlation is the higher the prices go up, they're going to end up spending so much more in competition. They're going to be spending so much more in time competing against these other buyers that they're going to miss out on all this equity and all this appreciation that they would have had if they would have maybe bought with a slightly higher interest rate a couple years ago. Yeah. I'm sure all of us are probably looking back and thinking, gosh, I wish I would have bought my house 2, 3, 4 years before I did, because it was probably worth that much less. Mm-hmm. So we just sometimes have to educate them that where they live every day is the payment. So maybe the interest rate isn't exactly where it was back in the day, but if their payment is something that they feel comfortable with, they love their house, it fits what their wants and needs are and their bigger life goals, that's probably what's more important. So that's what we need to focus on with people, is what is important to them. Is it getting a 3% interest rate? Because you're never going to get it again. Is it getting a 3% interest rate? Or is it getting into your dream home or getting into your first home to break into the market so then you can build up the equity to get into your dream home?
And eventually you can refinance, right? If
Yes,
the interest
absolutely.
goes down.
If the rate they say, I hate this saying, but they say it, date the rate, marry the house. You can date the rate because you can change the rate. But if you love the house, marry the house.
So if somebody is talking about interest rates, so can I just say like, oh, let's, I can give you a lender who can work with you and provide you the best interest rate and then towards the lender, because
yes,
you can't
absolutely.
give them the exact.
Absolutely. And that would be a good, especially if you're newer, it's great to start there because they know how to overcome way more specifics to some of those particular objections of, well, my rate is this and my payment is this and da-da-da-da. They are going to get into the granular numbers with them. We're not. But you want to at least be able to convert to that first conversation. So at a minimum, it never hurts to have a conversation with a lender. It's no hassle. There's no, no commitment. Doesn't cost them anything to have a conversation with a lender. And all it is education.
Hey, Raquel, I had a quick question.
Yes.
I had this conversation very recently, and then the pushback was, well, yes, I can refinance later, but the refinance is also not free, right? I have to repay for the refinance, and then there's fees, and then there's this and that. And I'm not a lender, right? And I'm like new to all of this, so I was like, I just got quiet.
Yes.
But also it's kind of like, what do you say to that pushback? Because again, we aren't a lender, but we still want to sound like we know what we're talking about.
In some cases it is free, for the record. It just depends on the type of loan and who the lender is that they're going to. Now I know like for a while, Direct Home Lending was offering free refinances after 6 months to, I think it was the FHA buyers at that time. So it just depends on, I don't know what kind of a loan they maybe had or what type of a loan that they were looking at. But in some cases, it's going to be a straight line refi that really isn't going to cost them anything.
A streamline, what they call it.
Yes, streamline. Yeah. So it might cost them some, but it might not. And if maybe it costs a little bit of money up front, but it ends up saving them $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, maybe that's worth it for them at that time. But again, the biggest thing is I wouldn't get too stuck on a conversation with people about rates. You want to change their perception to, well, let's talk about what makes sense, which is really your payment. If I can get you the home that you really want and it's a payment that you feel comfortable with, is that something that would make you move forward into meeting today and take the rate out of it entirely?
Okay, that helps. Thank you.
Yeah. Another big thing that you brought up, Ahana, which I think is important, is uncertainty. And we will always be going through something in this world, unfortunately, that makes people feel uncertain. And especially, I think, probably in the last 5 years, I would say really since COVID, there have been a lot of life things, life events that have very much impacted the movement or lack thereof in our industry. The reality is, even though it might not, maybe we don't feel a big difference in our day-to-day, depending on who's president, who's not president, and all of that, elections, the war. The reality is it does make people's perceptions, and it also impacts things like the stock market and interest rates.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing that I would really kind of guide them to is you want to bring it back to what their motivation is for even entertaining and having this conversation, because there is always going to be something going on in the world. Always. There's always going to be someone in office that someone doesn't like, or the opposite. There's going to be a war happening, a COVID. There's always something that's going on that's going to take people's eyes off the prize, if you will. But the reality is nobody here looks back and thinks, gosh, I'm so regretful that I bought all that real estate 10 years ago. No. People only look back and think, damn, why did I not buy that house 10 years ago? Why did I not buy that whatever, that shopping center, that lot, that something 5-10 years ago? In the moment, it feels like the scariest thing ever. But you will never look back with regret as to, oh, I hate that I have all this equity and appreciation now. No, you're going to look back with the regret on what you didn't move forward on, because real estate has continued time and time again to be the one vessel that, even with markets going up and down, crashes, stock market crashes, it is the only vessel that has continued to, over time, continue to pass generational wealth on and on and on. So that will not go away. So we just have to be the ones that help educate our clients that I know this feels hard, I know this feels scary right now, it feels like there's a lot going on, but if we can keep our eyes on the prize, let's think bigger picture in the next 5-10 years. Wouldn't this be a great asset for you to have for your kids one day? Wouldn't this be a great vessel or opportunity for you to have to move into your dream home one day? Whatever it is that they have going on in their life, bring it back to their motivation there. That's the focus. Not who's the president today or not. Yeah.
I have one question. So I have a friend that she actually made the plan through ChatGPT. And then I have another one that said, oh, but ChatGPT can help me with that. So you overcome that.
Meaning like ChatGPT can be the agent?
No, but like one of them got a plan, like what to do with her finances.
Oh,
where to
okay,
get a
okay.
key, the stuff.
Hey, let's lean into it.
Yeah, and then the other one was like, oh, but I can figure that out with ChatGPT.
Okay, great. Let's work on it together. That's what I would say. Let's have my ChatGPT and your ChatGPT put a plan together, and let's see what makes the most sense for you. Because my ChatGPT is already streamlined and set up for real estate, for being a team leader, for helping people build wealth. I don't know what your client's ChatGPT, maybe like what to buy on Amazon. I don't know. I don't know what industry they're in, but you can let them know that I work on my ChatGPT every day. It is retrofit for real estate and helping people buy and sell and build wealth in real estate. Let's put your ChatGPT plan together and mine, and let's come up with the best game plan for you and work together with it. Why not? Let's leverage ChatGPT.
I love it.
Yes. Hey, I love ChatGPT. I use it multiple times a day.
Yeah.
We all have it.
Yes.
I think you don't necessarily need to have ChatGPT, but I think everybody should have an AI platform
Google Gemini
that
too.
they work with.
Well, yeah, Gemini.
Because
Gemini's on our hub.
that's right. You're exactly right, Anthony. Gemini is already automatically in your hub because we have full Google Suite, G Suite, through command.
Yeah.
I will say the big thing with AI is not going
What
away.
is G Suite?
Google, it's like the full Google,
It's like Microsoft Office, but Google.
but
basically.
Google.
Yeah.
Like you
What's
get
Microsoft Office?
like Word docs, PowerPoint.
I love this guy there.
I use Apple. I don't know Microsoft.
It's like Word, Excel,
Oh, okay, now
PowerPoint. Yeah.
Jesse,
No, I got you.
Jesse uses Gemini to
Yes.
take a headshot and
There you go.
change to,
Yes.
very
Make me 30 years
professional.
younger.
Yeah.
Skinny and tan.
And he can take out wrinkles.
Different AIs have better uses for different things.
Yes.
Like Gemini is way better than chat for image creation.
Yes.
But when it comes to like social media captions, chat and Claude is better than Gemini. So it's like, if you're doing research, Gemini is really good too, because Google has access to all that data.
Yes.
But don't be afraid to use different kinds of AI languages.
And for those that aren't on AI at all, just pick one. Don't try to get all of them,
Yeah.
but just pick one AI platform that you feel the most connected to, that seems to is the easiest for you to use, makes the most sense, because AI is not going away.
Yeah.
And I think what we need to learn to do is two things as it pertains to real estate and AI. Is one, how can AI make us more efficient and basically become our greatest unpaid assistant? So it's gonna do the menial tasks that you used to have to spend a ton of time doing, that you used to have to, like descriptions on the MLS, maybe putting together, flyers, things like that. Putting together emails.
I don't upload a video on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, without asking Google Gemini, give me 5 titles for this video.
Yep, writing titles, writing captions, things that we used to really have to spend a lot of time doing. The other important element with AI is more and more people are going to AI and not a search engine to look up information. So when somebody goes in, they used to go into Google and say, top realtors in Corona. And you would get some of the paid results at the top, and you get all those people that just knew how to do SEO, pushing their content to the top. That's not what is gonna happen anymore. The reality is more and more people are going to AI to be like, I'm a first-time home buyer. Who should I work with that's gonna really know how to work with me as a millennial, that is really high tech, that is gonna be really communicative, and that's how they're gonna go find their realtor. So we need to make sure that we've set ourselves up on AI, that we're the ones that pop up in AI. And we've done a class on this. What was that?
Do we get training on?
Yeah, we've done a class on this, and actually when we went to a training last year with Jason Abrams, he was talking all about AI. So we will definitely do an AI refresher, because it's been a minute since we did it. But the biggest thing that he spoke to is there's some key things that we need to make sure we've got set up and ready to go, because AI likes that. First and foremost, you want to make sure your name shows up the same everywhere. So if you've got like a married name, a maiden name, a previous name, you've got a long and a shortened first name, make it the same everywhere.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be Sal Delgado everywhere. The second thing is your phone number and your address have to be consistent everywhere too. So the DRE cannot have your home address if your Zillow profile has the office. Everything needs to be
Beautiful.
the office. So like for me, the office is everywhere. That's my address everywhere. Like think of it, this is the analogy that he used. This is not my example. This is Jason Abrams' example. If you're online dating somebody and they say in their bio that they live in Corona, California, but then you go to their house in Wichita, Kansas, that's gonna seem a little sketchy because they said they were from Corona, California. So that's why everything just needs to be consistent, because AI is looking for things to be affirmed and reaffirmed to verify that this is true and factual. And the biggest thing is we need to make sure that we still maintain the human element with our clients, because AI will never be able to do that.
Amen.
And that will never go away. So as much as we need to lean into that technology, it does not negate that you still need to be the human that's got empathy, that's helping guide them, that is a resource for them to achieve their goal and dream and be the hero of their story. We're just the guide that's helping support them. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That sounded like a wonderful reel, huh? Like,
Oh
wow.
gosh. All right. Any more questions? I know we're a couple minutes over today. I will make sure, Jesse and I will make sure that all of the scripts that I had in here that we really didn't go over today are uploaded into KW Corona Support or the Agent Hub.
Did you get that paper?
And then next week,
Hold on.
what's on our calendar next week? I think we've got, do we have open houses next week for 30, 60, 90?
I don't have mine with me.
I don't either. It'll be a surprise. Oh, here we go. What's our topic next week?
Buyer's consultation?
It says buyer consultation.
Buyer consult. Okay, so we're doing our mock buyer consult. Yes.
Did they switch? Because I have you for 1 o'clock, but I see you started at 12.
It's always
12 to 1.
12 to
There's a
1.
typo on it.
No, is there?
Because I was gonna
On all of
leave.
them?
I think so.
Yes, because.
All right, we gotta reprint the calendar. Sorry, guys. Throw them all out. It's
Yeah.
always 12.
Somebody came to me and was like,
I'm gonna
"Hey,
have it
says
printed
one."
at the
I'm like,
front.
"What?"
Well, I was gonna leave and come
You
back
have the
at
answer?
Oh my
one.
god.
we literally work for one
Sorry,
customer.
guys. We'll make sure that gets fixed.
Okay, so it's always
I
at
know. See, there's that human element coming out.
12:31.